This is by Newt Scamander, with a special edition with a foreword by Albus Dumbledore. Wow. We're gonna start with about the author. Newt Artemis Fido Scamander. I just realized his name is Scamander. This whole time I pronounced it Scalamander, like a salamander. Wow, the more you know. Anyways, he was born in 1897. His interest in Fabulous Beast was encouraged by his mother, who was an enthusiast breeder of fancy hippogriffs. Upon graduation from Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Dr. Scamander joined the Ministry of Magic in the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. After 2 years at the office for House Elf Relocation, years he describes as tedious in the extreme, he was transferred to the Beast Division, where his prodigious knowledge of bizarre magical animals ensured his rapid promotion. Although almost solely responsible for the creation of the Werewolf Register in 1947, he says he is proudest of the ban on experimental breeding passed in 1965, which effectively prevented the creation of new and untamed monsters within Britain. Mr. Scamander's work with the Dragon Research and Restraint Bureau led to many research trips abroad, during which he collected information for his worldwide bestseller, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now, in its 52nd edition, Newt Scamander was awarded the Order of Merlin Second Class in 1979 in recognition of his services to the study of magical beasts, magizoology. Now retired, he lives in Dorset with his wife, Portopina, and their pet Measles, Moppy, Millie, and Mahler. Oh, sorry, that was probably a little loud. Now, the foreword from Albus Dumbledore himself. I was deeply honored when Newt Scamander asked me to write the foreword for this very special edition of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Newt's masterpiece has been an approved textbook at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry ever since its publication, and must take a substantial amount of credit to our students' consistently high results in the care of magical creatures examinations. Yet it is not a book to be confined to the classroom. No wizarding household is complete without a copy of Fantastic Beasts, well thumbed by the generations who have rifled its pages in search of the best way to rid a lawn of horklumps, interpret the mournful cries of the augury, or cure their pet pumpkins of drinking out of the toilet. This edition, however, has a loftier purpose than the instruction of the wizarding community. For the first time in the history of noble publishing house of Oboscurs, one of its titles is to be made available to muggles. The work of Comic Relief UK, which, funnily enough, has nothing to do with the American organization of the same name, His small additions will add to the entertaining tone of the book. Mr. Newt Scamander, long since resigned to the relentless graffitiing of his masterpiece, has agreed. This edition of Fantastic Beast will be sold at Flourish and Blotts, as well as Muggle bookshops. Everyone involved in getting this book to you, from the author to the publisher to the paper suppliers, printers, binders, and booksellers, contributed their time, energy, and materials free or at a reduced cost, making it possible for 20% of the retail sales price, less taxes, from the sale of this book to go to a fund set up in Harry Potter's name by Comic Relief UK and J.K. Rowling. This fund was designed specifically to help children in need throughout the world. Wizards wishing to make additional donations should do so through Gringotts Wizarding Bank. Ask for a grip hook. All that remains is for me to warn anyone who has read this far without purchasing the book that it carries a thief's curse. I would like to take this opportunity to reassure Muggle purchasers that the amusing creatures described hereafter are fictional and cannot hurt you. To wizards, I merely say, Draco dormiens nunquam totalius. I'm assuming that means that it is dangerous and will come after you if you steal the book. So, that is part of this one. I'm going to flip through just a little bit, just to see what we have here. I love all the little notes that has been added to the book. These are so cool. I love that. That's really cool. So that is part of the Fantastic Beast book. Now we're going to take a look at Quidditch Through the Ages, which is written by Kenilworthy Wisp. I think I am saying that correctly, but I'm not 100% sure. This book is green. It also has all of the people who have checked out this book. We have Oliver Wood, Cedric Diggory. Let's see. Fred Weasley, Fred Weasley, Hermione Granger, and Harry Potter. This one does not have as long of a about the author. So I'm just going to start with chapter 1 in this book and just test the waters to see if we like it. Chapter 1. The Evolution of the Flying Broomstick. No spell yet devised enables wizards to fly unaided in human form. Those few you know what I mean, who transform into winged creatures may enjoy flight, but they are a rarity. The witch or wizard who finds him or herself transfigured into a bat may take to the air, but having a bat's brain, they are sure to forget where they want to go the moment they take flight. Levitation is commonplace, but our ancestors were not content with hovering 5 feet from the ground. They wanted more. They wanted to fly like birds, but without the inconvenience see how that would be very uncomfortable. Sorry, my nose hit the microphone. If it made a noise, I sincerely apologize. A thick, knotty handle on the unvarnished ash with hazel twigs bound crudely to one end. It is neither comfortable nor aerodynamic. The charms placed upon it were similarly, goodness, I can't say that, similarly basic. It will only move forwards at one speed. It will go up, down, and stop. As wizarding families in those days made their own brooms, there was enormous variation in speed, comfort, and handling of the transport available to them. By the 12th century, however, wizards had learned to barter services so that a skilled maker of brooms could exchange them for the potions his neighbor might make better than himself. Once broomsticks became more comfortable, they were flown for pleasure rather than merely used as means of getting from point A to point B. So that is the first chapter of this book. I think that this could be something very interesting to read altogether, and I think the words are going to be more easy to pronounce than some of the Fantastic Beast names. So, I'm going to put that back right there. I want to thank you all so very much for being here tonight. I originally had a different video I completely recorded for all of you and had been looking forward to it for days, just to find out that when I was done recording, it did not, the microphone wasn't working, and I did not think a voiceover would be good enough for the video, so I tossed that into the trash and we have started over with this. But I have never read anything in this book. My husband had these whenever he was a kid, and sorry, my stomach just made a noise, and he had these on the bookshelf, and I thought it looked really interesting because I've read all of the normal Harry Potter books, but I've never gone through these little miniature textbooks, if you will. So I was like, honestly, I think this might be very relaxing, and we could start doing whispered reading videos that you can fall asleep to. I personally love to listen to a good audiobook, and what's better than a book that you truly don't have to pay attention to? You can just close your eyes and set your alarm and just drift on to sleep as I whisper and go through Quidditch facts and just other Harry Potter things. So be on the lookout for more videos like this, and obviously now that we know what each book is, I will be reading more than just one chapter at a time, and maybe we can get halfway through the book, then the next video, and then finish it in the video after that. So with all of that being said, I hope that you thought this was relaxing, and if you did enjoy the video, if you're still awake, please hit that like button so that way I can make sure I'm producing the content that you guys enjoy. And if you would please consider hitting that subscribe button to join the channel, but also to get more videos just like this. It also helps me grow as an ASMR artist, and it truly does mean a lot to me. We have gotten up to, I think, 161 subscribers, which is crazy, since I am just